Hey, how you doing? Henry Olsen here from Super Simple Guitar. You can see it up there. In this lesson, I'm going to be showing you the 4 ways that you're going to master bare chords on the guitar. So I work with students daily, and I can't tell you how often I hear, Henry, how and when am I ever going to be able to play bare chords? And I've put a lot of thought into this, and I've also spent a lot of time working with them, watching to see what really works. So I'm going to give you what I've learned in this lesson. So let's get into tip number 1. But before we do, if you want to get my free picture chord book with 42 pages of chords and pictures of chords and tips on how to play chords all over the neck, plus an online course that lasts about 40 minutes where I talk even more about bare chords and different things that you're going to need to know as a beginner. The link is for that right under this video. Alright, and it's totally for free. So let's get into tip number 1 right now, which is you're going to want to get the action set up really nice and low on your guitar. So if you don't know what that means, I'm going to put a picture up here with a guitar with really high action. See that? And now I'm going to put up a picture of a guitar with really nice and low action. So that just means that the strings are going to be nice and low. So they're going to be close to the fretboard rather than far away. And for you, what that's going to mean is that you're not going to have to apply as much pressure as you would have to with the guitar that's set up really poorly. So now you're probably asking yourself, okay, Henry, that's great, but how on earth am I going to get my guitar action set up? So you could either do it yourself, or what I'd recommend is go to your local guitar shop and see if they have somebody who could do that for you. If you're going to do it alone, there's plenty of YouTube videos probably out there. What you do is you'd have to take out this little piece here in the bridge and file it down. Take a piece of sandpaper and file it down manually. Or you'd have to adjust the truss rod. On an electric guitar, it's in front here. On an acoustic guitar, it's in the back here. You'd have to tighten that screw, which will make the neck straighter and therefore easier to play and lower action. But again, if you've never done this kind of stuff and you're not really a handy man or handy woman, then go to your local guitar store and ask them to set up the guitar nicely for you so it's easy to play. That's the number 1 step into making your guitar easy to play and for you to be able to master not just bare chords, but to be able to play all of the chords nicely and easily. Okay, so if you have a guitar that's badly set up, you're not going to believe how much easier it's going to be for you to play once you get a proper setup done. Alright, so now let's get into tip number 2. Tip number 2 is get light strings, okay? And I'd recommend 10 strings, so 10 gauge strings. Lots of acoustic guitars come with 12 gauge strings, so thicker strings. And the thicker strings are going to make your hand need to work harder to get those notes out of the guitar. So go and get 10 strings, 10 gauge strings, and also light strings, especially if you're a beginner. If you're a more advanced player and you want to have a more thick and fat sound, then by all means you can play the 12 strings or the 13 strings. But now, since you're watching this video and you want to get good at bare chords and be able to play them with ease, get 10s and light gauge, or even extra light gauge. And again, that's going to make it easier to get a note out of the guitar. And the easier it is for you to get a note out of the guitar, the easier it's going to be for you to play bare chords on the guitar. It makes sense, right? Okay, so now let's get into tip number 3. And that is practice between C major and F major. So why do I recommend that? I recommend that because your ring finger, sorry, let me show you with this finger so I don't flick you off. I don't want to do that. With this finger, you're going to want to keep it down. See that? I'm not moving it. It's staying right where it is. And the rest of my hand is going to that F major. So that's just kind of giving you a nice anchor that's going to help you kind of move between those two chords nicely and easily. Plus your pinky doesn't have far to go either, because it just goes right under the third finger, and your middle finger just goes down, your first finger goes up. So it's not a huge movement for your hand. Plus the C to the F sounds really, really nice. So practice that one, nice and slow. Okay, now let me get into the fourth tip, the final tip, and that is learn a song that has bare chords in it. So lots and lots of times I see people avoiding songs with bare chords because they think that they're never going to be able to play bare chords, so they don't practice them. So they avoid what's hard. And avoiding what's hard isn't going to get you to make that thing that's hard easy. So what we want to do is practice what's hard so that in time it becomes easy. So you're going to want to practice, I recommend La Bamba. If you type in Henry Olsen La Bamba into YouTube, you'll find a lesson of me teaching that. And all you're going to do is go from C to F, and now we're going to take this F shape and push it 2 frets up the fretboard to a G, okay? And then back to the F. So that's going to force you to play those bare chords. Plus, once you play it, people are going to start to dance. So it's a win-win situation. All right, so those are my 4 main tips on mastering bare chords. Do them all, and within a month or 2, you're going to be amazed at how easy it's going to be for you all of a sudden to really play bare chords with ease. All right, my name is Henry Olsen. If you like this lesson, please give me a thumbs up. I love hearing from you. Don't forget to subscribe. Check out the link under this video. Get that free course where I talk even more about this subject and also other things that you're going to need to know as a beginner. And I'll see you really soon. Take it easy. Bye-bye. See you later. Bye.